In South Korea, every male citizen is required to serve. But when it comes to K-drama stars, that duty hits differently for them, for their fans, and for the people who might quietly love them from behind the scenes. Today, we focus on one of the brightest stars in the Korean entertainment world, Eun-woo, and the emotional ripples his military enlistment has left, especially in connection with someone who's long been tied to him through the heartstrings of drama and quiet companionship, Moon Jae-young. But before we get into the heartache, the speculation, and the silent strength behind these stars, let's go back. Eun-woo, real name Lee Dongmin, isn't just a singer and actor. He's become a symbol of perfection, the face genius, the drama prince, the idol with an angelic face and gentle manner. From his debut with ASTRO to his breakout roles in My ID is Gangnam Beauty, True Beauty, and Island, Eunwoo proved he's not just a pretty face. He can act, he can sing, he can lead, and he can make fans believe in the kind of love that only exists in K-dramas. But what happens when someone like that has to put everything on pause? On July 28, 2025, Eunwoo quietly reported for military service. There were no massive crowds, no grand goodbye, just a short wave from a van window as he arrived at the Nonsan Army Training Center. This wasn't just a star fulfilling his duty, it was a man stepping away from the spotlight to face a different kind of challenge. Before enlisting, Eunwoo addressed fans in a quiet, heartfelt live stream. He said, "Thank you for walking with me all these years. I'll come back stronger and I'll miss you." It was simple, honest, and incredibly emotional. Astro Sanho was seen accompanying him, wiping away tears. Other artists who had trained with him or acted alongside him sent their wishes, but one name was notably absent, Moon Jae-young. Why? That's where this story becomes more than just a typical enlistment. Moon Jae-young and Eun-woo's story started with True Beauty. Their chemistry was undeniable, and though it was just a drama, fans instantly began shipping them in real life. Every look, every smile, every behind-the-scenes interaction felt too real to ignore. Even after the cameras stopped rolling, the two remained connected, attending the same events, being spotted at mutual friends gatherings, and most notably, reuniting as MCs for the 2024 Golden Disc Awards. Their appearance together sent fans into a frenzy. They weren't just co-hosts. They were comfortable, playful, and glowing. Rumors swirled once again. Were they just friends? Were they more? No one knew for sure. But their timing, their comfort, and the way they looked at each other left many wondering. In early July, weeks before Eunwoo's enlistment, Moon Jae-young became noticeably quiet online. No brand promotions, no personal updates, no selfies, just silence. Then, just a few days before he enlisted, fans spotted her at a quiet cafe in Itaewon, one known for being a favorite haunt of Eunwoo. She didn't stay long, but she left behind a small, folded note on the table, according to a barista who later shared it anonymously on social media. The note, reportedly unsigned, read, "Be well. Stay strong. I'll wait." Was it real? No one can confirm. But for fans who have followed these two stars closely, the message felt authentic. On the eve of his enlistment, Moon Jae-young posted a single story to Instagram. It was a quote that read, "Love is not always loud. Sometimes, it's just waiting quietly in the background." It vanished after 6 hours. Now let's take a closer look at Eun-woo's new life. He's serving in the Republic of Korea Army's military band, using his voice and presence in performances at military events. But make no mistake, this isn't a glamorous role. It still includes physical training, strict discipline, and limited communication with the outside world. His day begins at 5 a.m. lights out by 9 p.m. Between those hours are drills, chores, rehearsals, and strict inspections. A source close to his agency revealed that Eunwoo adjusted quickly, surprising even his commanders with how humble and hardworking he is. He reportedly told his team, "I want to be treated just like everyone else. No special treatment." Meanwhile, Moon Jae-young has returned to filming. She's starring in an upcoming series titled Black Salt Dragon, where she plays a detective in a supernatural thriller. But even as she performs, her aura seems quieter, more distant. She was recently asked in an interview how she copes with the absence of close friends or co-stars during long shoots. She paused before replying. Sometimes, silence says what words can't. You just carry people with you, even if they're not beside you. To fans, that was a message. A silent one, but one that echoed loudly. Cha Eun-woo's military service is set to last approximately 18 months. If there are no delays or changes, he's expected to be discharged in early January 2027. But what happens during that time? According to military tradition, enlisted idols can write letters or record short video messages for fans, released through official military channels. We can expect a few of those over the next year. But aside from that, communication will be scarce. His agency, Fan Agio, confirmed there will be no scheduled promotions or pre-recorded content releases during his service. This is a complete pause for Moon Jae-young. However, this might be a time of reflection, growth, and maybe waiting. Her recent Instagram captions have hinted at longing. One photo, a shot of a clear sky, was simply titled, "Still Looking Up." Another post, showing her writing at a cafe table, said, "Stories worth telling sometimes start in silence." Even fans who never shipped them are now curious, because what they share, whether it's a romance, a friendship, or something unnamed, feels deep, steady, and real. In an industry built on image, the quiet connections often speak the loudest. So what's next? For Cha Eun-woo, it's about serving honorably, growing personally, and returning with a fresh perspective. For Moon Jae-young, it's about holding her own in an industry that demands more with every role, while carrying a quiet support for someone who once shared the screen, and maybe more, with her. And for fans, it's about hope, about rewatching old dramas with new eyes, about listening between the lines, about believing that real connections, like the one we've glimpsed between Eun-woo and Jae-young, don't fade just because someone goes away. The story isn't over. It's just on pause. So as Cha Eun-woo faces the toughest role of his life, and as Moon Jae-young quietly shines from the sidelines, we'll be watching. Not just for what they say, but for what they show, in quiet moments, in passing glances, in subtle hints. Because sometimes the most powerful stories aren't the loudest ones. They're the ones whispered in silence and carried in the heart.